Hey everyone, welcome back to the Grace-Filled Leader podcast. Today we are diving into a topic that every leader needs, and that is organization. I'm talking about the kind of organization that doesn't just make you feel productive, but actually creates lasting systems that help you and your team thrive. We're going to look at the essentials of creating systems that keep you organized, effective, and focused on what really matters. We'll discuss how to set up weekly, monthly, and yearly goals and how to break them down into actionable steps using a task management system. So whether you prefer MeisterTask, Microsoft Teams, Asana, Trello, or another platform, these principles will apply to you, so tune in. Welcome to the Grace-Filled Leader podcast. Do you want better work-life balance? Do you get stuck in patterns of perfectionism and people-pleasing? Have you always been an overachiever but never really felt good enough, no matter how much outward success you achieve? Do you want more time for the things that matter most? Well, you are in the right place. Here on the Grace-Filled Leader podcast, we focus on spirit-driven success and share the secrets to having better work-life balance as a busy woman in leadership. Here you will learn how to set boundaries like a boss, find peace of mind, and reclaim your time for the things that matter most. Hi, I'm Tanya, a wife, mom, leader, and certified Christian life coach. For most of my life, I tried to find worthiness through achievement. I spent decades people-pleasing and pouring myself into my work. I was looking for my value through the approval of others. This led me to feel burned out, empty, and exhausted. I had no time or energy for myself or my family. I realized that I was wasting time and energy looking for validation in all the wrong places. But my life changed when I finally surrendered and God showed me a different way. It is my mission to help you start living the abundant life God has for you. If you're ready to become fueled by grace and find freedom from people-pleasing, if you're ready to multiply your time and impact as a Christian woman in leadership, this podcast is for you. Roll up your sleeves, sister friends. It's time to get after it. As leaders, one of our biggest responsibilities is to bring structure where there could otherwise easily be chaos. The busier we get, the easier it becomes to fall into reaction mode, putting out fires instead of working toward intentional goals. But the best leaders have systems in place to help them and their teams focus, prioritize, and keep a sense of direction. Think of it like this. Instead of scrambling to stay on top of tasks, a well-designed system becomes a blueprint for how to operate, helping you and your team stay proactive rather than reactive. When you set up a good system, you are building peace of mind, consistency, and a way to measure your progress. So let's talk about breaking down weekly goals. The weekly rhythm is essential because it is where you focus on immediate tasks and smaller goals that build toward larger outcomes or projects. So here's how to start setting up your weekly system. First of all, you need to have weekly planning sessions. So set aside time at the start or end of each week to outline your top goals or priorities. Use a task management system to list out essential tasks and then organize them based on priority and or project. I actually use two different task management systems, one for my corporate day job and one for my coaching and podcasting gig. So I use Microsoft Teams, particularly the planning function at my day job, and I use MeisterTask for all of my podcasting and coaching work. I have spent a bit more time optimizing MeisterTask, and I really like the functionality of that. But Microsoft Teams Planner is very similar in how it functions and how you can use it. So I have been optimizing that a bit more recently to stay organized and efficient in my leadership role. So the second step is to group tasks into categories. So instead of just keeping things listed as tasks, group them based on categories or project focus areas. For example, you might have a category for marketing, operations, or administrative tasks. Most task management platforms do and should allow you to create boards or buckets to keep these groups visually separated. I actually have a little bit different way of naming my buckets or columns or categories, whatever you want to call them, because it works best with my brain and how I function. I like to create a bucket or a section that is a general to-do list where I quickly and messily might add things as I think of them. Next, I have a project bucket where I take things from my general messy to-do list, I turn them into projects, which are basically anything from my task or to-do list that requires more than one step. I break down my projects or my processes into each step or task required to complete them. The next section I have is called in progress. And then I have a completed bucket. So that's kind of what I move throughout the week. But I also have buckets that are called weekly, monthly, and yearly. This is because I have so many things that I repeat daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly, so I can create a standard process for each of those things. I can create a template on one of my task cards and then duplicate it and edit them as I need to, repurpose them each day, week, month, or year. So again, my buckets or categories are my to-do list, projects, in progress, completed, monthly, and yearly. And sometimes I also do quarterly, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. But anyway, the third step is to assign and delegate. So being organized means recognizing what tasks you should and shouldn't do yourself. If you lead a team, you need to delegate some of the responsibilities. And most task management tools allow you to assign tasks to specific people, which keeps everyone clear on their roles and their deadlines. And I know that at least the two that I use, MeisterTask and Microsoft Teams, allow you to add people to your team and assign specific task cards to those people. And you can set deadlines, you can set recurrence patterns, all of that. I know the recurrence patterns are for sure in Microsoft Teams, not necessarily in MeisterTask. Fourth, you need to set up reminders and checkpoints. So it's easy to lose track of things when you're busy. So set reminders for key tasks. Regular checkpoints keep you focused and allow you to pivot when necessary. Like I said, both of my task management systems allow you to set due dates on the actual task cards themselves. So that's a nice automated reminder system. And Microsoft Teams will actually send you reminder emails when you have upcoming tasks due and when they're overdue. And finally, step number 5 is to have a weekly review for accountability. So at the end of each week, spend a few minutes reviewing what went well and what didn't. Task management systems like MeisterTask and Teams have reporting functions that let you see which tasks were completed and which need more attention. So this allows you to clean up your to-do plate, leaving only the things that remain unfinished or in progress. This weekly review process is key for preparing for the following week and staying organized and efficient. I actually use my weekly review time as a wrap-up time to, like I said, kind of clean up what I need to from the week and also look ahead and organize my task board and my calendar for the following week. So I don't just use my task management system, I also use my electronic calendars for time blocking my individual project times or assigned task times as well. So I'm going to go through those 5 steps again for weekly planning. So first, you have a weekly planning session. Second, you group your tasks into categories or buckets or columns. Third, you assign and delegate tasks that you can't or aren't going to do yourself. 4, you set up reminders or weekly checkpoints. And 5, you have a weekly review and planning session to keep you accountable to your tasks. Now, once you're in the rhythm of weekly organization, you can look at the bigger picture, the monthly plan. Monthly planning allows you to track progress and make adjustments on a larger scale, ensuring that your weekly tasks are aligning with your longer term goals. So kind of the steps to monthly organization are first to set clear monthly milestones or priorities. So decide on 2 or 3 key goals or priorities or projects for the month, whether you're launching a project or finalizing a budget or completing a team meeting or a training session. Monthly milestones can give you a sense of purpose and accomplishment as you complete them. Step number 2 is you want to break down monthly goals or projects into weekly tasks. So each month, take time to break down these monthly goals into smaller weekly tasks and assign them within your task system. This helps prevent last-minute scrambling, and it ensures that each week contributes to monthly objectives. Third, create some recurring monthly tasks. So use your task management tool to set up recurring monthly tasks that include a review and any key performance indicators that you need to make sure you're tracking. This consistency in process creation, implementation, and review periods means that there's less risk of nothing falling through the cracks. And finally, you want to have monthly reflection and adjustment periods. So monthly check-ins are a great way to pause, reflect, and adjust. Look at what was accomplished and reevaluate any unfinished goals. This is a powerful way to fine-tune your strategy and keep everyone else on track. When you've mastered your weekly and your monthly organization, obviously you're then prepared to set and pursue yearly goals that align with your vision for growth and impact. The key here, and with all of these timeframes, is breaking down these yearly goals into quarterly and monthly milestones. You can use similar steps and processes to approach yearly goals and projects that you did for the monthly process. So here are really the basic steps. The key is to take bigger yearly goals, break things down into monthly or quarterly projects, break those projects down into micro weekly projects. Then you break each of these weekly projects into individual action steps. And be sure to set deadlines on your tasks or mini projects and make those your daily and weekly focus points. The great thing about an electronic task management system like I described is that you can very easily set due dates. You can edit your task lists or add to them. You can assign tasks to team members and check off each individual task as you complete them. And you can move and drag and drop your task cards through your project management dashboard. If they are projects or tasks that you will repeat in the future, you can refresh and repurpose them so you're not recreating the wheel each day, week, month, or year. So the secret sauce to organization and efficiency is to break things down into bite-sized pieces, into actionable steps that are realistic and attainable. Then you just tick each of them off as you complete them. Then you can move your completed task artist to your completed bucket. It is so visually rewarding to do this. Now, while initially setting up systems will cost you some time on the front end, your long-term time saving will be exponential. So the return on that initial investment of time is extraordinary. I cannot tell you how good it makes me feel to see my email inbox virtually empty, to see my completed action items, and to see actual forward movement on project completion. I've also seen how this helps my team members be more organized and accountable to completing their assigned tasks and projects. Because of the functionality in being able to create teams and assign tasks, organizing yourself within these systems and your systems inadvertently organizes your team. So now let's talk about habits to maintain your organization once you started setting up your systems. Creating a system is just the start. Staying consistent is what brings actual results and brings you that long-term return on investment of time. So here are some habits to help you lead more effectively. Number 1, have weekly and monthly check-ins. Keep up with your regular planning and review processes. Having dedicated time for these review processes and check-ins will help you stay focused and motivated. Number 2, simplify communication using your project management tools. Like I said, most task management systems allow you to comment and assign tasks directly on the task cards you've created, which reduces the need for so many emails. Keep all this project-related conversation in one place for clarity and transparency. Number 3, encourage team accountability. A big part of being organized as a leader is fostering accountability within your team. When everyone updates their tasks and keeps their assigned areas organized, it contributes to the whole team's productivity. Number 4, leverage your analytics for better planning. So if your project management tools offer any kind of analytics or reporting functions, you can use these features to get insights into productivity trends, to track team performance, and make more informed planning decisions. And finally, refine and adapt your systems as needed. Systems are not static. They evolve as you evolve and grow. Periodically evaluate and adjust your organizational methods based on what's working best for you and for your team. So there you have it. An overview of how to use a task or project management system. Oofta, I'm mixing my words all together today. This helps you become a more organized, system-driven leader. And when you create these systems, these rhythms, you will see just how powerful a structured approach can be for your productivity, your peace of mind, and your overall leadership effectiveness. So my call to action for you today is I challenge you to try setting up your own weekly planning rhythm. Choose a time to sit down with a notepad or a task management app, map out the most important goals that you have for the week, and start making space for what matters most in your professional, and you can use this whole process in your personal world. And if you're struggling or if you're looking for help establishing these systems, or you want more tailored strategies to lead with intention, I would love to support you through coaching. Let's work together to build a framework that leads you to sustainable success and purpose-driven leadership. If you visit gracefilledleader.com/work with me, you can set up a free consult. I would love to talk through ways in which we could create your own unique task management system. It is totally my jam. I'm even willing to talk about how I can set them up for you if you want the done for me kind of approach to creating systems and task management. Now, if this episode has been helpful for you and you will find it helpful to hear more about systematizing and organizing, I would love for you to subscribe to the show, share it with a friend, and or leave me a written review on your favorite podcast platform. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, when you create organization and structure, you open yourself up to leading with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Until next time, keep building those systems and leading with intention. And as always, I pray that the Lord fills you with gratitude, peace, and His amazing grace. I pray this episode blessed you, spoke to you, or encouraged you in some way. If so, please share it with a friend and head on over to Apple Podcasts to leave me a review. That's the only way for me to know if you're enjoying the show. Nothing blesses me more than to hear from you. Also, come on over to our free Facebook community. This is a great place for us to support one another on our faith and leadership journeys. You can find the link to the group in the show notes or go to gracefilledleader.com/community. If you have questions or content ideas for the show, please send me a message on SpeakPipe or via email. Go to gracefilledleader.com/contact and leave a written or voice recorded message. I would love to know how I can best serve you on the podcast. Now to Him who can do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Ephesians 3, verse 20. Until next time, my friends, God bless.